T.S. Eliot was never young. That, at least, is the impression many readers get from his work. I grow old, complains the voice of the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, written when the poet was at the start of his 20s. A few years later, Eliot began another poem with the words, "Here I am, an old man." Still in his early 30s when he published The Waste Land in 1922, he argued that the most important personage in the poem was Tiresias, who has already forsuffered all, and appears to have lived for thousands of years. Yet Eliot knew what it meant to be young. To follow his development from early childhood enhances alike reading of his work and understanding of his life. Presenting him as shy, sometimes naive and vulnerable, young Eliot aims to unsettle common assumptions about this poet's perceived coldness. It shows how his American upbringing combined with experience of France and England to make him not only the most remarkable immigrant poet in the English language, but also the most influential and resounding poetic voice of the 20th century. His poetry embodies an almost limitless resonance. Eliot's youth remained vital even to his aged eagle tone and achievement. Several people who knew him intimately recognized this. His widow, Valerie, who died in 2012, maintained that there remained always a little boy inside Tom. His nephew, Graham Bruce Fletcher, remembers being taken in boyhood by Uncle Tom to a London joke shop during the early 1960s to buy stink bombs, which they then let off inside the nearby Bedford Hotel, not far from Eliot's office, with a fit of hysterical giggles. Eliot put on a marked turn of speed as he and his nephew, McCavity-like, removed themselves from the scene of the crime. Tom sped off, twirling his walking stick, in the manner of Charlie Chaplin. Back home, they did not tell Valerie what they had been up to. Instead, the septuagenarian, business-suited Nobel Prize winner settled down to playing with his nephew's remote-controlled toy Aston Martin James Bond car. In age, among those whom he trusted most, the poet nicknamed Old Possum retained a certain gleefulness. He remained young Eliot. This elderly gentleman turned stink-bomber may have been making up for lost time. His own childhood had been unabashedly strict. A shy, big-eared boy whose privileged upbringing took place within earshot of one of the most seductive productions of African-American culture, ragtime music, Tom Eliot in St. Louis, Missouri was not a child renowned for wild escapades.